guys, and welcome back to Trainz the Simple Route version 2. Now, on this episode, things are going to start to come together. So, we are on above the two tunnels right now, and we are removing every bush down this area. Now, for those of you interested, this is about 8 times speed, I think, right now. So you can sort of tell how long this took me to do to individually take each one of these out. Yep, you too as well. Now, I figured a lot of these bushes must be taking they're low res, but they must be taking CPU. They can't be taking. They weren't taking the GPU up, certainly. So maybe placing fewer but better quality ones might be the better option here. I figured. Then I started thinking maybe we could actually change the use of around this area, make it actually look different. So the first thing I do around here is move the fences in. That's one of the bugbears I've had against this area. The fences are way too far out. It's like there could be 4 tracks there, but there's only 2. I suppose maybe in the scheme of things there might have been 4 tracks there once and then it was taken down to 2, but no, I prefer to have the fences closer, I think. Maybe in retrospect I'm not going to do this, maybe the tracks should be closer together as well. So I think technically in that space you probably still could put 4 tracks there. Maybe 3, but... I think it's little things like this, if you have a chance to do them, if you're going to update something, then why not? That's what I figured. So all the hedges in the wrong place now, which is what facilitates, that's it, that's the word, I can say it. Facilitates me to actually, or prompts me to actually remove all the bushes around here. There you go. And what you notice by moving the bushes is it needs repainting underneath as well. Now bushes get put in, the spline one there gets left, and we put a few more in. But I just want to give it a different look, as it's version 2 of the route, and why not? Now, for those of you watching my other series, I haven't mentioned that right now. It is still going on. I just took some time out to fix this route to make it Trainz 19 compatible. But I'm going away on holiday, well, as I record this, it'll be next week, so I'm trying to get 3 weeks content together. Which is actually fairly difficult to do when you're working and doing other things as well. So putting this route together and actually getting that to coincide with my little holiday, my little break, and that felt like a good idea. Now, I do prefer the fence here a lot closer. I think it looks a lot better now. One thing it has done is, excuse me, given me a load of space on the left. Because that track originally, when you had the bushes there and everything, was quite close to the edge. Either way, this is how it is now. So we are putting a load of ballast here. We're going to be doing a bit more painting around the corners there, as well as some grass and stuff like that. We're putting some new bushes in. Again, near the cameras, we're going to make them animated. The rest of it will stay fairly static, because there's no real use for it to actually select the resource up to do that. The trains run quite fast through here. You want to give the visual look of something, of the scenery. You don't need to use the resources and animating every last thing. Now they do stop here though, at this junction, so a little bit more thought has to be brought around here. Now I mentioned this, I think on the last episode, that I was redoing the ballast over the other part of the route, and it's because the scale was too large, and as soon as you got on a train, that just didn't look real. Now once again, move all the trees, the low quality ones up there. They have a place, but as you're running the train around, you're looking straight ahead, you do see that as you're going around a corner. Now I do figure, as it's in the woods, that maybe it actually has some sort of dark, sort of woody sort of undergrowth colour, so I'll get rid of the grass colour over here and put sort of a browny sort of muddy colour in. Now here we're trying not to mess up the ballast, but we're trying to actually put grass in, but once again, because of the way Trainz works, then that's very difficult. Now we're up near the farm. I take out again some of these individual assets. It feels maybe a waste adding these in up here. Just one static spline would probably actually use less resources, give the same effect. At this point I decide to divide the field up as well. And we go all the way around. Some gaps where sort of gates and things might be. Now the one thing it has meant I've had to do is the hill is very rough, and so I want to smooth it out a little bit, so that's what we're doing here. So we lower off the top a little bit to sort of give it a much smoother sort of feel and try and get rid of some of these bumps. Certainly go over the tunnel, it's very bumpy the way I did that originally. I think that might have been the reason why I just put bushes all over it, so you wouldn't notice. Slowly we'll get there. It happens when the radius of the hill you're creating, when you bring it up or down the land, is too small. It's better to use a much bigger radius and then and keep the sensitivity down, I think. So a lot of this fixing I didn't need to do if I'd have done it correctly in the first place, but yeah, there you go. And obviously to fix it you have to keep these small radius just to try and pull out the bumps that you created in the first place. So, and one thing you do actually end up doing is adding a load of new bumps in. But so slowly, it just, I spent a lot of time doing this, and a lot of it is off camera, you won't see it, but it does slowly look a little bit better. What it allows us to do now is actually put fields here. It looks slightly more real. And before the end, I will, as I say, I will actually try and even out a little bit more as well. Now the other thing I noticed, just like in the green part, is that on this part here, the trains go whizzing by, so probably isn't actually that much need to actually put really high-res assets in. As long as you give the idea of what you're actually trying to do. And I don't think that originally we didn't actually have this divided up either, which maybe I should have done. Because when you're on the track or looking over the track and there with the more fields, when it's been divided up, I think that's a much better effect. Now we'll add a few trees and the bits and bobs in here as well, just to sort of finish it off. And certainly, as the bits which like this junction, which the trains will stop at and you'll spend more time at, or there's a static camera or something, then more effort will go into those bits. Now, all we're doing really there, by putting those hedges there, we're hiding the fact that there's a bit of a gap. It'd be very difficult to fix that. But the effect is okay. We've given it a sort of country road feel there. There's another complaint about that bridge. When you actually see the camera on top, you get the smoke going through. Don't seem to be able to change that, unfortunately. I tried most of the settings. Now, originally I'd switched most of the settings off anyway because of the CPU. But there's a setting, there's a physics setting in there, which I did think that if I switched that back on, that would not happen. It would sort of the smoke might bounce around a bit, but no, it still goes straight through that asset. Now we're further, again this is the low res sort of hedge, but it's still higher than what we were using before. And I think we're far enough away from the train, a lot of that, to actually keep it to a sort of low res. One of those wonderful bumps. As you can see, as we've gone through this, I've spent quite a bit of time on this now. It's not just repaint, add a bit of TurfFX. There's a fair bit of work on it. Now, some of the missing houses which didn't carry through. There's one below which I don't show putting in, but that's changed near the track as well. I've taken out the gardens behind, you don't see them. As much as it's nice to have them, then this route takes a lot of CPU. So if I can just nick a little bit back by actually not putting a few assets down, then I'm going to do that. I'd much rather put higher assets in for this version, that where you're going to see them next to the track. I do find it funny that you just up that height you really don't see the grass so much, but as soon as you actually it does prompt you to end up using longer grass because you can see it visually from here, but then when you get down and actually sort of train level or eye level, if you're the sort of level you're standing there, it's really, really high. So I'm going to make this into a cornfield. I figured this grass this thicker grass I've made is perfect for that. I should get. I'm trying to find a scarecrow. Actually, that should go quite nicely inside it. A little bit more TurfFX around here. Bits of it near the edge I'm using larger grass, and the rest of it I'm using the thinner grass. But we are getting very close to finishing off now, actually. There's some stuff I'm going to do which you guys are not going to see, so we can actually do it on the reveal when I show off the route. But there's one more episode of building. That's quite a short episode as well. There's only a few things to do on it. I haven't decided yet. I might actually put the build episode and the review episode on the same day, but separate episodes, because they're both going to be quite short, realistically. But I do want to keep them separate. Now we've got some chickens here, we've got some horses, and I do put some more animated stuff in there as well in that field. I think we have pigs in there as well, actually. Now this grass here, I'm going to lower that down. I don't like it on the track here. I quite like the idea of the village area being quite well kept. Yeah, I put this grass in, but if you see it goes up to the top of them. I don't think that's the real thing, so I end up removing that. It just doesn't look quite right. That knee deep in grass. I'm pretty sure they would have ate it by now. And again, these well-kept houses having grass that, you know, would they really have grass that length? I don't think so. So no, I get rid of them. Although this one's meant to be a bit of a dump. This house, this is not meant to be lived in or looked lived in. This one. So probably I will keep the long grass and some hedging and bits and bobs there. So. I think I told you in a previous episode, I keep playing about this area. I just can't quite decide what to do with it. I figured the grass, but then I don't like it, so I take it off. I put different textures on it, and I don't like those. I think we end up going back to the concrete on there. Yeah. So as soon as I have a ballast on though, just like everything at the time I told you guys, let's go straight into those gardens. I just wish you had a little bit more control of where you could actually place it. There it is, straight into that garden. And as soon as I put it back, it goes, the ballast is gone. It's just how it works on trains. There are these little squares, and that's where, if you're painting within one of those squares, it will do the whole square. So it's a little bit bigger, so we're gonna hide it a little bit. So we find a reasonably wide grass spline. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be hidden behind the trees, so you're not really going to see it. So you put something sort of the same height, and then we hide it with some trees. So yeah, it's really just messing about trying to find one which can hide it, okay? You just don't want to see it from the track, really. Now this is just in front of that, it's around the back bit. Once again, I'd put the grass in here, so you can see the junction now. It's just, again, you stop at a signal there, and visually if you're on the train, you see this really long grass. Now, it just wouldn't be there. And this is why I said it would do it. I could remove that long grass here. I do like that long grass. Well, I did, yeah. I put it on originally, but I just don't think it would be there. think the shorter grass is a much better option in here. Well, that's it for this episode. There will be one more build episode and then the reveal. And after that, we're back to the new big build again. Anyway, if you liked this episode, please press the like button. If you want to see more, please subscribe. And if you press that ding-dong bell thing at the top right there, it even tells you when I actually put more stuff on. Okay, guys. Cheers then. Bye-bye.